everyone, it's Hannah the Omaha Introvert back with another finds video. When I release this video, Chris and I will be on a massive road trip down south. So it's going to be like a 3-week road trip, meaning that this is going to be my last video for the month of November. Let's start off with the first few finds here. So the first is the Undertones Positive Touch. And I talked about the Undertones in my last finds video, wherein I showed their first album. So this is actually their third album, and I'll show the label really quickly. I actually found this in South Dakota months and months ago, but this is on the Harvest label, the Green Harvest label. So this album, it's kind of like they took a brave leap and did something different. This is more new wave and power pop than the pop punk that you can hear on their first two albums. I'm hoping to find their second album, Hypnotized, when we're on the road. So cross my fingers to find that one. But yeah, this is their third album. Love the songs. His Good Looking Girlfriend, Julie Ocean. Wow, that one's amazing. It's Going to Happen. This one's so good. And this was from 1981. So the Undertones with their third album, Positive Touch. And I also picked up a 12-inch single. This is the Love Parade. This one came out in 1982, I believe. So yeah, it has a few tracks on it. Next, I picked up Peter Murphy's first solo album right here. So it's called Should the World Fail to Fall Apart. And this is part of his run of recent reissues that were released, I think, earlier this year. I think he recorded this after his side project, Dolly's Car. But as you know, Peter Murphy was also the lead singer of Bauhaus. So this album is definitely different than Bauhaus. I think he kind of wanted to get away from like the goth stereotype and kind of just branch out. There's still some creepy moments here and there on this record, but I just love his powerful vocals. This one's on colored vinyl, part of his string of recent reissues. It's a good pressing. So what I love about this is that he does a killer cover of Magazine's The Light Pours Out of Me. So good. That's one of my favorite tunes on here. Neverman, that's a great one. The Answer Is Clear. So yeah, not bad for a first solo effort. I have Love Hysteria on CD, and then I kind of missed out on picking up some of those other recent reissues. Are kind of hard to track down now, but if you're lucky, you'll be able to find some of them, and I found that one at Jurassic Plastic here in town. Okay, next, and this is just so cool. So cool. Such a cool reissue. Suburban Lawns. This is, like it says, new wave and punk, post-punk. Came out in 1981 originally, and it is unique. A very unique release. They've been compared to Talking Heads, and I can definitely hear Talking Heads in their music, but they kind of have their own stamp, their own thing going on. They have some interesting stage names, like this is Sue Tissue, and then the drummer's name is Chuck Roast, I believe. But yeah, check this out. Here's the inner sleeve. I was able to pick this up at Grapefruit Records. I think I got the last copy for the week, but they should have more in stock now. It's avant-garde, it's quirky, it's clever, humorous lyrics. Songs I love would have to be Protection, Janitor, Unable, Green Eyes. It's an entertaining listen. So so glad this was finally reissued to vinyl. And this is on Viaduct Records, by the way, if you're looking out for it. Yeah.
Quite big-headed, I know you're a hard for mine.
And I have a bunch of cool reissues to show you guys in this video. Another one being this. Well, it's not really a reissue, but it's a new release. Huge fan of the DBs. I've talked about them in several videos on my channel. And this is their recent release, I Thought You Wanted to Know, and it covers 1978 to 1981. And it's on this new label, Propeller Sound Recordings, and it's a 2 LP set. Really great packaging. Just a bunch of photos, and there's a nice booklet inside as well. So the DBs are probably in my top 10 favorite bands of all time. I've just always connected with their music. It's power pop and new wave from the early 80s. Kind of an experimental cutting edge band from that time, but it comes with this awesome booklet. Just kind of a history of the songs and the band, a bunch of photos. It lets you know, it gives like commentary on each of these songs from the band members. So, really great presentation here. If you're like me and you're a massive fan and you have this rarities release, it's called Ride the Wild Tom Tom. There are some tracks on here from that, but on this you get like some live cuts, some sessions material, maybe some different mixes. So it's well worth getting. Well worth getting. Here's the tracks, some covers on there as well. So in another finds video, I talked about a band called Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry, and I picked up a CD box set that is well worth getting. It's on Cherry Red Records. I saw this at Drastic Plastic, and it was only like $8.98 or something like that. And yeah, this is one of their pressings, a Drastic Plastic issue. So it's on this red and yellow vinyl. So yeah, this is a compilation. It only has 10 songs. This basically covers the first 3 years of the band. If you like goth and post-punk, the singer Chris Reed, I think is his name, he has like a really deep baritone voice. So if you gravitate towards that, if you love Joy Division, Sisters of Mercy, you're probably really gonna dig Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry. Primarily an 80s band, but if you see this, you know, it's a really good introduction. I never find any of their stuff on vinyl, and I saw this and I was like, you know what, it's just time to get something of theirs on vinyl. Their albums are pretty hard to find out in the wild, so yeah, this is a new release, a reissue. I think the original one came out in like 1986, but this is a good comp to have. Picked another one up from the Saints, and this is All Fool's Day. This came out in 1987. It's more roots rock, almost like an Americana feel. I think Chris Bailey, he's like the only original member that's featured on this album, and his songwriting is very strong on this. I really like the songwriting. Definitely has that late 80s sound, right? You'd probably be able to recognize it immediately. This is also kind of like jangly. Love the song Celtic Ballad. This is definitely very different. Like I said, this is not punk, but if you're wanting to explore more from the Saints and you dig Chris Bailey's vocals, give this one a shot. Another reissue. Damn, 2021 is pretty killer for reissues, in my opinion. There's just been a string of really good ones. So, oh, I didn't even notice this before. Yeah, I ordered this off the Goner Records website, and this just fell out. So, Memphis, that's where Goner Records is. We're actually planning on stopping in Memphis. Hopefully, we'll make a stop to Goner. Keep you posted on that. But okay, so Steven, the band is called Steven. This is called Radar of Small Dogs. And I have Dean over at Grandma's Handbag. I love his channel. Awesome music taste. If you have a free moment, check him out, say hi. I remember sampling their songs after watching his video and being like, wow, that would be awesome to get. And then I saw on Discogs, like, originals are quite out of my price range. I'm kind of more of a bargain collector, so that was out. And then I saw that this was just reissued, and I was like, sign me up, I'm on board for that. So I ordered it, and it has David Kilgore from The Clean. So The Clean were like an 80s jangle pop group, and I featured them in one of my jangle pop videos. If you want to check that out, link is up here. But this just came out, I think, this year as far as a reissue. Originally, I'm not sure. I wonder if it says what year it came out. I mean, it looks like these sessions are from like 1988 to 1990 or so. So yeah, it comes with this insert photos of the band. Very, very awesomely put together. So they were part of like the Flying Nun, Dunedin. I think I said Dunedin right this time. Do need to eat. I'm freaking starving. Anyway, this is a perfect example of jangle pop. The chiming guitars, just the hooks, the melodies. It's all right here. I especially love side one. They throw in some like live tracks on side two, but this is just a gem. I'm so glad, Dean, that you feature them in one of your videos, because now I'm just hooked, and this is a shining prime example of jangle pop from the late 80s. Killer stuff. And then it's just on this basic black vinyl right there. Okay, I want to go with this one next. We're doing okay on time. I'm showing a lot of 80s in this video. I do focus a lot on 80s alternative and all the subgenres of rock pretty much. So if you love the 80s, you're in the right spot here. Naz Nomad and the Nightmares. Now, I featured this album before. I talked about it in one of my other videos. I showed the CD of it. I had gotten the CD maybe a year back, so I got a vinyl copy now to show, and I'll show the label just really quick. It's on this big beat. So this is a really quick listen. Fans of The Damned are going to enjoy this. Fans of 60s psych and garage rock are going to dig this. And why do I lump those two together? Because it's basically members of The Damned covering a bunch of 60s songs and just rocking out, having fun. So the members of the band gave themselves different names. That'll show. It's basically Dave Vanian, Rat Scabies, and Roman Jug. Like I said, if you like the 60s garage psych nuggets, I mean, there's several covers on here, like Kicks from Paul Revere and the Raiders, other covers from The Seeds, Electric Prunes, Human Beings, you know, good stuff. Glad that's in the collection now, for sure. Let's move on to this one. I picked up a compilation from Orange Juice, and I got this at 402 Vinyl, which is in Bellevue. And I didn't pay the price that's on the sticker. Mike always gives like super deals, but this is on Polydor. This is a really worthy compilation to have of this band. In fact, this is the first and only time I've seen this available, so I just jumped right on it. Scottish band. Edwyn Collins was the leader of the group. I'm sure many of you have heard of Edwyn Collins. Slick production. It's got a really like bouncy quality to a lot of their songs. It's like sophisticated pop from the 80s. I love the song Rip It Up that's on there, but yeah, this is just really solid. And I apologize if the glare is in the way. So I'm not an expert on this artist at all. In fact, this is the first record I own from Van Morrison, but I finally picked up this classic and I found it for a pretty good price. But this gatefold, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it because the general masses have already heard this. I mean, it's a highly regarded record. Warner Brothers. It's romantic, poetic, soulful, passionate, and now I'm happy to own it, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say on this one. So, always nice to add a classic to your collection. Okay, so last time I think I mentioned that I was going to show Spear of Destiny next time. Well, this is next time now, so let's talk about Spear of Destiny. And here's their first album. I picked up 3 other albums, 2 of them in one store, 1 in the other. So this is a UK band, and it features members of Theater of Hate, and Kirk Brandon is the leader. That's him right there. So a 4-piece group, and this is their first album. It's called Grapes of Wrath. really like this group because they just feature a bunch of styles in their music. This album is good, but there's better things to come, and especially with their second album titled One Eye Jacks. This one is the favorite that I've heard so far, I have to admit. The interesting thing about this band is that like so many members have come and gone, like pretty famous ones. So you've got members from Sex Gang Children, Stiff Little Fingers, Magazine, I think Gene Loves Jezebel maybe. This band has a lot to offer. Kirk Brandon's vocals are very emotional, very powerful. Lots of driving rhythms to their music too. They have like hints of reggae, post-punk, goth, alternative. There's some saxophone in their music. I really like Everything You Ever Wanted and These Days Are Gone off of this one, but this whole thing is just really good. And these are pretty affordable, especially this one. It looks like I only paid $5, and this is their third album. It's called World Service. It's also a good one. I was totally unfamiliar with them before until I read a few comments on my channel months and months ago, and I had placed them on my sample list. I keep a notebook by my computer, and people give me recommendations all the time, and I like to write them down and then check them out later. That was one of the bands, so whoever recommended Spirit of Destiny to me, thank you. Really, really enjoy their stuff. Lastly, we have Tommy Keene and his album called Based on Happy Times. Found this at Homer's Records downtown, and this one kind of hard to find, I have to admit. This is the first and only time that I've seen it, and I got a pretty good deal on it. I'll show the label. It's on Geffen. This was released in 1989. I was a little bit late to the party with Tommy Keene. I don't think I really got into his music until maybe last year. He's just like an A+ power pop master. This was recorded in Ardent Studios in Memphis. Lots of you will recognize that studio name. Of course, Big Star recorded there. So Peter Buck also plays on a few tracks. So this might be my favorite album of his so far, I have to admit. And I've heard maybe 4 or 5 of his LPs. He just died a few years ago, unfortunately, so he is missed. The songs I really love are This Could Be Fiction and When Our Vows Break. But yeah, overall it's a fantastic album. Alright, that's the one I'm ending on. Again, really no CDs to show this time. I can't, oh, maybe I do, really quick. I already had the vinyl, but I did buy a CD of this. So I bought this issue of The Sounds Jeopardy, and I already had an unofficial vinyl copy of it, but it's nice to have the CD. So this is one of my favorite 80s post-punk albums. So nice to have this so I can listen to it in my car. Got that used downtown at Homer's. It's on the 1972 label.
I miss the noise of life. The silence deafens me.
For sure. Maybe I'll do like a favorite post-punk albums video down the road. Let me know if there's any interest in that, and I can put that on my list of videos to plan. That's it, you guys. I sure appreciate you hanging out and watching and leaving any comments. I will see you all in December. Take care.